So we're just starting right away. Just deal with it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll probably blabber about nothing for the first couple minutes anyway. Anyway, I still have a cough. It's been like 6 weeks. Anyway, if you're watching this, you've moseyed on over to this channel to watch Finding Found, a show where we talk about the show Found on NBC. I'm joined by Connie Dixon for life. Yep, for life. That's it. That's it. That's the sign. That's the signal. Um, and once again, I will be complaining at the hour at which the show airs. Um, anyway, I proceeded to post the wrong title and episode number for this episode.
Wait, it was the wrong time.
It surely was. Tonight we're talking about Found, NBC's new hit show, Found, episode 8 of season 1. It's called Missing While Homeless. I didn't
It
call it
is.
that, but that's what it is.
That is what it's called, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I don't know what happened. I wasn't okay. Anyway, thank goodness for a break from work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have off tomorrow. Thank God.
Mhm.
Got a little scary there for a second. For a second, I thought maybe that I was going to have to host Thanksgiving very suddenly. But my husband was like, "That sounds like so much work. Please don't do that." And I was like, "Oh, thank God." Okay. Okay. So I'm not sure what we're doing for Thanksgiving, but I'm not hosting. Even though, as you know, I have all of the food in my house. I still didn't go pick up my free turkey.
You have like one day.
I have till tomorrow. I have to go get it tomorrow. Is
Mhm.
there room in my freezer for a second turkey? No. So I might have to give that one away in the parking lot of whatever store I purchased it from. But anyway, Janessa is here with us for her weekly mental breakdown as we do our live episode breakdown. So great. Happy you're here, Janessa. Janessa, you are our number one fan and supporter.
Yes, you are. We are so appreciative
Just
of you.
honestly, we love you.
Yes.
Um, so thank you for that. Thank you. Also, Domain Davis was liking tweets today that Takeerah was putting out about this show.
I don't know if
What's
you heard,
happening?
but we're besties.
Basically, I guess if it just takes a couple likes to become besties, then yes.
Absolutely.
Um, one, I mean, I guess it would be cool to be like, to be a showrunner and then know that which is Joe Schmoes are talking about your show
Yeah.
online. That is pretty cool, I guess. So you're welcome, Domain Davis. Um, also, thank you to any of you who have subscribed recently. We've gotten some really cool comments about like, I'm so glad I found this. Um, asking us questions about things. I I'm just I am beyond I'm beyond thankful because one, how?
Yeah.
But two, why? And and thank you. And thank you. Honestly, so thankful for it. If you are watching this video and you somehow found this show because you're really into found, I would guess. Please go ahead and hit that like button and that subscribe button. I don't know. Go ahead and hit alerts, I guess, too, if you want. I don't really care. Uh, but I'm trying to hit 100 by the end of the year, and we're cutting mighty close. I'm at 75. I don't know that I'm going to make it, but I don't believe in manifesting, but manifest. Okay. So I don't know. That's how you do it? I guess I'm not really sure. That's how I did it. So what was this hand gesture? I don't know what I was doing. Anyway, I'm tired. It's fine. Typical for a Tuesday. Typical for a Wednesday. Honestly, typical for every day of the week. But now we're past the actual time I said we were gonna start so we can get down to business. Ha! I said I would blabber on for the first couple of minutes. Anyway. So this episode was called Missing While Homeless. And it followed the story of Sal?
Oh, hold on, let me
No,
pull out my
Solomon.
notes.
Wow.
Yeah. I
Solomon.
was like, that
I'm
wasn't
okay.
it,
I'm
but yeah.
mentally okay. I'm mentally
Samson.
okay.
Samson.
Samson. See, now I'm all over the place. Saul is the name of the child I adopted in Indonesia. So that's where that came from, I guess. I adopted a child, not like, do you know what I mean? Like when you send
Mhm.
money, the whole thing. Anyway, he's adorable. Um Takeerah, just help. Just take over. I can't. We're losing viewers left and right here as they're
Okay,
like,
okay.
what is she talking about? Also, is she okay? Or am I just watching a stroke live on YouTube? That probably breaks their um their terms and conditions, you know what I mean? They're gonna shut us down. Okay.
Let me just say, we're tired. We were tired before the show started, and so now
Yes. Yes.
we're definitely tired.
It's true. It's true. You're not making it any better. Um you're not helping. You're not helping me, Takeerah. We're losing more viewers. What's happening?
Okay, okay.
Okay. So okay. So here's the thing. If you were on the fence about this show, if you were like yours truly here and you're like, this show's pretty all right. Hasn't hooked me yet. Nothing's hooked me. This did it. I forgot to live tweet just because I was enjoying it so much. So I was literally I had my phone in my hand, but I was not looking at it at all. I was just staring at the TV. And it hit about 10:30 and I went, "Oh, live tweeting to promote this thing that we're doing. Yeah, that probably would be a good idea." Hadn't done it. So, this is the episode, honestly. If you're on the fence, watch this episode. I feel like it's really going to turn it around for you. This was the best yet. I say it every episode, but this was really the best yet.
Yeah, this episode was whew.
It was good. Let's just say this because we're both tired and clearly incapable of coherent thought. Why don't, if you want us to talk about something, why don't you just put in the chat? We're gonna run a little different tonight. Put in the chat and we'll talk about it. Janessa says, I heard a rumor that the season finale is gonna be a 2-hour episode, which is gonna be a very late night if it's
We will not be going live Tuesday night
we
if that
really will not.
happens.
We really will not. I have to say, this was not our plan for this week, okay? But I'm on another podcast and it's a holiday week. And so there's limited days early in the week and yada, 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 yada. That's why we're live tonight. It's also why I said it was absolutely the last time that we will do it on Tuesday. Because I don't think this is a good look for me. But also, because I was mad about the time change. And so that's why I'm putting my foot down and saying, never again, sir.
Ever.
Will I be changing my time? Even though it was my fault because I agreed to it in the first place. Anyway, moving on. It's not very well organized. You guys know, I was one of those people that I never wrote anything down because it's a steel trap. It's all in here. But
Sorry. Sorry, she's just having a
oh my
coughing
gosh,
fit.
I don't know what just happened. Excuse me. I was not okay. But as it turns out, as you get older, uh, it's not the steel trap it once was.
No.
And I do too much, so I just lost it. Anyway. Chanessa says they really do get progressively better and more intense. They really do. They really do. All right, so let's talk about this episode. It's about a guy named Solomon. Solomon? Solomon?
Samson.
I'm fired. I fire myself. This is horrible. Takeerah, just do it. Just Takeerah, you do it. I can't. I'm gonna
The
call him the
guy's
wrong name the whole episode.
the guy's name is Samson.
Yep.
And he disappeared from a homeless encampment um, while actually rescuing someone from being assaulted.
Mm. Mac. That one I know. That one I know.
Yes.
Mac.
I do love when they really stick to the people that the police wouldn't care to look for, which of course would be missing
Yeah.
while homeless.
I mean, that's the whole point of the show, I think. It's really an opportunity to shine a light on this. So
Mm.
I do like it. Um I thought that it was oh, it was kind of an interesting premise. Again, we did end up with the person surviving. So I'm still waiting for it. I'm still waiting for it.
I was really hoping this wasn't going to be
Oh,
that episode.
if this was the one, I was gonna not be okay. I was not gonna be okay. Janessa said, "Did they explain why Don was in so tight with them?" So they did in like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, know what I mean kind of way. So at the end of the episode, Samson.
Mhm.
All right, we're there. We turn it around. We turn it around. Samson says to Don in front of Margaret and Gabby, I want to turn it around like you did, son. Something to that
Mhm.
effect. And Gabby and Margaret kind of share a look with each other. And so to me, that was inferring that Don was homeless, which is a huge statistic amongst
Yes.
veterans.
Yep.
So it makes sense. You come back, you've got PTSD, you've got a lot of trauma from war. He was a POW, so he's got even more trauma on top of that. He comes back, you can't fit into regular society.
Mhm.
People do not help you. The VA is I mean, I know it's there to help, and I'm not saying that like the VA is a great idea in theory, right? But it doesn't they're overloaded. It's like any other like social service program in the
Yeah.
United States. They're always overloaded. I mean, I imagine it's like that in every country, honestly. They just get overloaded because there's too many people that rely on that system. So anyway, they end up maybe not getting the resources that they need. If you're also then suffering from some sort of mental break or mental illness, you're less inclined to even take the assistance they would provide. And so you end up in a situation where you can't work because you're mentally unwell. And then you don't have any money. So how are you making it? And you end up almost like I don't, I don't, I'm gonna say actively choosing, but do you know what I mean? It's not quite that.
Yeah.
It's like you're choosing that because you don't want to take the help to get back into society because
Mhm.
like why bother? Right? It's kind of like it ends up going down that road. Anyway, um so I thought that was interesting and I liked that perspective that we got about Dawn.
Yeah.
Also, Dawn's hair was just out of this world this episode.
Yeah, it was.
I I was like, what products are you using, Dawn?
I was like, well, there's no doubt about it that his husband is home.
Yes. Your hair had not a bit out of place. But
Mhm.
also, what were you using? Can someone on the show tell us? Someone tweet that. I need to know who was in charge of hair and makeup. I need whatever that product is. I mean, look at this. Bird's nest. I'd like something to smooth it, you know? So I thought that was a really interesting perspective to get on Don. It did leave us getting like a little more to his story, which was great. Um, All right, we're just gonna do this. We're gonna go through it. We're gonna go through it. We're gonna talk about everybody else because I really want to move on to Lacey and Zeke. I told y'all. I told y'all. He ain't trying to get with Dawn. Quit playing.
Yes, I was like, mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. She is safe with him. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, in that apartment, sure, because he's agoraphobic and he will not leave to protect you in the staircase, but you'll be all right in his apartment. He sure will.
Since we're talking about Zeke, let's jump right into it, shall we? He knows
Oh,
something.
okay.
He could see the amount of people in her house.
Mm-hmm. 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 He could. He could. Okay. Janessa said he kicked that guy's butt and not a hair out of place.
Yeah,
That is
absolutely.
what I'm saying. I demand answers.
Mhm.
What product is it? I need to know. What is the ship name for Lacey and Zeke? They need one. Leek
Zacy?
or Zacy? Those are your two options. I feel like Zacy is gonna have to be it because
Yeah,
Leek
it's
is
gonna have to
weird.
be. That's just ridiculous.
Well, it just sounds like take a leak. It's just not a. It's not appealing. So Zacy, hashtag Team Zacy.
Team Zacy.
Suck it, Zon. Team Zon. You're wrong. You were wrong. Um. All right. So that brings up another point. Okay. So we're flying all over the place here. So you said that. Do you know what I want to talk about?
Which cray cray banana thing that happened?
Don looks at Gabby and says, "It isn't a problem, is it?"
See,
Now, someone mentioned in last week's episode, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember who it was. It may have been Chanessa, it may have been you. But somebody mentioned that they thought Dawn may have helped.
yeah, because did she really carry him into her basement alone?
So when she flew like a bout out of hell, as Trent says, all the way back from Virginia and goes to her apartment and has to check, Dawn wants to know, is everything really okay?
Right.
And I was like, you do know. He does know. I'm willing to not bet my life, but that seems excessive. I'm willing to bet a Whopper from Burger King on this. I don't know why that was what I went with, but
And he always has similar reactions, like to Gabby when Lacey approaches him about like being suspect of Gabby for something. He always has like similar reactions to her.
mhm. Mhm. Yes.
Mm.
I think he did it. I think he did it. I think he did it. I think he helped. I'm gonna go
And
with that. I'm gonna go with that. This is
yeah,
living in my head right now. I don't know if it'll be right, but I really like it. I think it's interesting.
and I don't
And
know
she would have
why
helped. There's no way she would have been able to do it all on her own.
all on her own. Exactly. And who is always like her right
She would
hand
have had to
man?
subdue him. Yeah. There's a reason he's chained up.
He don't let her go anywhere that is going to be a dangerous situation without him ever.
Yeah. Yeah. Suspect.
Hmm.
So,
Zeke and Lacey is going to be so mad at them.
Genesis said, I think Don would have beaten Sir to death if he knew. So it wasn't your theory, Genesis, was it? It wasn't your theory then. Um, Now, while I think that that is true, I think Dawn is a really good like watchdog for Gabby. So I feel like
Hmm.
if Gabby was like, "No, I want him to feel like I did, you have to remember Don's a POW.
Mhm.
So he would maybe kind of get that. Like, yeah, I wish I could make the people pay that took me. And maybe he did. We don't really know.
Today, I think I figured out the double meaning, or that there is a double meaning behind we don't judge how each other copes with our trauma.
Yes. 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 Hands
Because
down.
yeah.
I felt like it was part of it. Now this is some heavy foreshadowing, so I don't know. I don't know where this is going to go. I just I like that theory. I
Mhm.
just like it. I think it's interesting. And again, I don't know that Gabby would have been able to do all of this on her own. Zeke wouldn't have been
Yeah.
able to help.
Right.
Lacey doesn't know. Trent certainly wouldn't have done it. But wouldn't that be the like biggest red herring if it was like everything was pointing to Don and it was actually Trent? I would die.
That would
Anyway,
be hilarious.
good old heavy boots. So Sir did figure out that Heavy Boots is indeed a police officer,
Mhm.
but not really because he's like still on suspension or whatever. Or he's not anymore. I think he's technically not anymore
Uh, oh,
because he was with Shaker.
wait a minute. Are we not going to get an explanation?
I don't know. I don't really care that much. Anyway,
Yeah, I
um,
know. I didn't even pay
it's
attention
fine.
to that.
It's fine. He was out in the patrol car, and she went to meet him, so that's why I'm like, oh wait, he wasn't suspended anymore, I guess. So the storyline that we get about Sir and Gabby has to do with a kitten that wanders in who's hurt. Gabby clearly identifies with this,
Mhm.
like above and beyond identifies with this. And when Sir picks up the cat, which I don't know about you, but I was worried for a second that he was going to kill that cat.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, so cute. He's a cat guy. Go figure." Um, he's like, "Oh, so cute. What should we name it?" And she's like, "No, it's not ours. It has a family." And I was like, "That's not how cats work, but
Right.
that's fine." Um, and then she bandages it up and sends it out.
Sends it on its merry
Sends it
way.
out.
I was like, "Oh, no,
Um,
don't get okay, yep, all right."
mhm, I know. Which does go to show that based on that and also the story that we received about her mother.
Yeah.
And there is, I will tell you, having been at more than one person's bedside at death, there really is something to letting them know that they can let go. Um, it does do something. My dad was holding on and I mean it was ragged. And I came over and I said, "You don't have to do this anymore, Dad. It's okay." Because my brother was coming from out of the country. And and so I think he was really trying to hold on for that. And I
Mhm.
just told him like it's okay. He's not going to be upset with you. It's okay. Like this is so painful. Just go. And he passed like immediately after I
Mm.
said that. So there is something to be said for like letting people know that they can let go. I don't know how much they can hear you, but they can hear that. And so I thought that was kind of beautiful, but it also goes to show Sir was right. She is selfless in that regard because keeping that cat would have been for her.
Yeah.
She would have had like someone to talk to during the
Mhm.
day and probably would have given her hope for living, but she didn't want the cat to go through the same thing she was going through. And so she let it go, which I thought was really beautiful. I also thought it was nice that she did really try to talk Sir out of keeping her.
Mhm.
But we did get more insight into why she is the only good thing about him. So, ooh.
If I feel like for comic relief reading through my notes, cuz I was just losing my mind. in this
He said
episode.
some really weird things this episode.
I mean, he has went cray cray banana just all the
He,
way.
he's I mean, he's a weird guy. We all knew it. He's an abductor, but he just went above and beyond. Just some really
We belong together.
just weird stuff.
Like
Tell me
what,
you tell
sir?
me you need me. Tell me I'm your partner. Tell me you love me. And she's crying while she says it, dude. She doesn't love you. You're so weird. Janessa says this was his most unhinged episode.
Oh,
It
absolutely.
absolutely was.
Absolutely.
He matched Gabby for
Yeah.
like level of unhingement.
Speaking of him matching Gabby, Lacey noticing all the similarities between the way they live.
Well, the locks I get. She's trying to it's like she's reliving the trauma, but from a
Mhm.
different perspective. That I
Mhm.
get. The book thing, it
Right.
was really weird
Yeah.
because I was like, there's no way she just went out and bought all those books. Like, she's collected those over time. Uh-oh.
Sorry.
Someone's in trouble off screen. This was the mom look. Um, so I thought that that was weird, to say the least. Now I get it. Our boy Sir is very well read. So is he asking for the books and she's going to get them? But why are you storing them upstairs?
Mhm.
Weird. Um I don't know. I'm not sure. Um Chinesis is not for nothing. Lacey also has 3 deadbolts on her door. So
Mhm.
it's a coping mechanism. And
Yeah.
again, it's trying to relive the trauma, but repositioning yourself to the point of power.
But also, it's always going to bring me back to what was he like being so s- like I just feel like everything is coming from a place of some crazy trauma with him.
I
You
don't know.
know,
I don't know that we'll ever get an answer. I'd say it's a 50-50 shot. Most serial killers, it's a 50-50 shot. Some of them have lived and I shouldn't compare him to a serial killer. It's just it's what I know the most about in terms
mhm,
of true crime. So I apologize. But in terms of serial killers, about half have been through really traumatic life events, and the other half have had like a really happy life. So there's no telling. There is no telling if there is a trauma that caused it or not. Now, in a certain amount of cases, there is head trauma that can cause like um extreme aggression. So that's not really the vibe I'm getting here. So I don't
mm-mm.
know that that would be it. Janessa
Um,
said, right, what made him like this?
I've
I hope we get
watched
insight.
um I've watched serial killer true crime, but also a lot of like abduction true crime, and it always seems like they're trying to relive something or fix a situation that went awry. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. I think back to Ariel Castro often, just
mhm,
because we talked about it a couple episodes ago.
mhm.
I don't know that he did.
That's true.
So again, I think it's just one of those things like we'll know more over time,
Mhm.
as more of these cases come up, these things happen and people like are able to psychologically study these people. But that's the other thing. Half the time they're like compulsive liars.
Right.
So you don't even know if you're getting the truth out of them or not.
And then also with usually like you made me think of Ariel Castro, and the first one that he kidnapped, he was always so pissed off at her because she looked young, but she wasn't the right age bracket.
It made him so angry and
It
he
made
was
him
so
so
mean to
angry.
her.
And I just feel like with Sir, it has nothing to do with like age or anything like that. Like it's her. For whatever reason, is her specifically.
I don't know. I don't know. We go into the whole thing about at the end. with Sir explaining that he hates Bella, which is Lacey's
Mhm.
original name,
Mhm.
that he hates Bella, that Bella took Gabby away from him, and that he has now put together that Lacey is Bella and he will kill her given the opportunity. Which I was I was hopeful at that point that Gabby was going to let this go. I didn't know how she was going to worm her way out of it, but I was like maybe she would call and say he broke into my house
Mhm.
and I was able to subdue him somehow. Um but yeah, it's not going to happen now because of what was said. So she's not going to let him go now because now her fear will be that if she turns him in, and see, this is him manipulating the situation. He knows that if she turned him in, he would go to prison.
Mhm.
So instead, he says, well, I'll kill Lacey if anything ever happens. No, you have him in cuffs, ma'am. If you called the police, they would come get him and he would go to prison. He wouldn't evade arrest. It would be fine. But as someone who's been in a domestic abuse situation, manipulators can really work it
Mhm.
out that you are so fearful.
But I just so many things make my brain say, and this is why she should have been honest with Lacey. Because in my head, it would be her and Lacey there. Like,
Lacey would never allow this to happen. And she
you don't
wouldn't
think
allow it to
so?
go on. No, she would not allow this to go on because Lacey would do the right thing.
I mean, yeah.
Gabby was kept by him too long. And so it has fractured some part of herself.
I
She knows what she's doing is wrong, but it's like her anger outweighs
mhm.
her knowledge of that.
I think the reason why in my head Lacey would be there is to kind of make sure Gabby doesn't get herself into more trouble. Like, I feel like if she felt like she couldn't really stop her, like she didn't want to call the police on her and go that route, and she couldn't stop her another way.
I don't know. I don't think she could do it. I don't think she could do it. I don't think so. Janessa says the theory I've seen a lot on Twitter is Sir either lost a daughter or a sister, and this was his way of recapturing the relationship and preventing something from happening to them. Now, it is interesting because it doesn't appear to be a sexual relationship. It does appear to be something more familial
At times.
because he refers to her as family. It's always
I mean,
family.
yeah.
It's not like my wife or my lover, or it's always family. So, yeah, there is something to be said for that. I could see it going a different route. It's never my assumption because I've watched too much true crime, and there is just no way that it would exist like that. But
Yeah.
who knows?
Right.
Maybe
I mean, this whole
maybe
we
he's
belong
flaccid. I have no
together
idea.
and take the cuffs off and find out or whatever. Like, he's always doing things here and there to make me be like, no, I really don't think he's looking at her like a sister. Like, I'm not getting those vibes. I don't, there are people in the world that literally aren't interested in sex, but they do want companionship and everything else that comes along with kind of being in a relationship with someone.
Sure, but I would say most often someone who's willing to go to this degree is sexually motivated in some way. Typically.
Right.
So this is like really this to me this wouldn't this seems really unrealistic for that reason. It's
Mhm.
and I hate to say that cuz I don't want it to become that, but it's just to me true crime based like that would be more likely. So this is
Definitely.
extremely unusual. But that makes sense. That's why people are theorizing sister or daughter because it seems more familial than it does sexual. And so then that's kind of the route that you're taking with it.
I'm also considering the channel that the show is on and how, I don't know, they might wanna just not go too far.
I mean, they've gone pretty far with other stuff, so I'm not
Mhm.
really sure. I don't mean other shows, I just mean with other topics on this show. So it kind of surprises me, but to each their own. Yeah, studio execs may have been like, "Oh, no, 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 no. We'll talk about, unaliving yourself, but not this.
Right, yeah.
You've gone too far."
I guess it's
Um
me trying to figure out, like, why? Why would
they
because
even
you're
talked about SA in this episode,
Mhm.
but it does make him irredeemable.
That's
And
true.
so I don't know what the end goal is with this,
Yeah.
and so maybe that's the point. I don't know. Janessa said Lacey would also not be able to hold it together long enough. She'd snitch immediately. Yep. That's my opinion on it. Yep. Truly believe it. Truly believe it. Let me tell y'all, we were only going to talk about this episode for 15 minutes and then like plan on rescheduling a different day. And we're already this far in. So we're just going to go the extra 15 minutes and then we're going to call her quits. So if you've got anything else that you'd like us to touch on, please make sure to write it in the chat so that we know. Okay. The other thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that Sir has been following
Yeah.
Gabi for 20 years. Um, and has been actively looking for Lacey, but because she had changed her name, so thank
Mm.
goodness she changed her name, because who knows what would have happened otherwise. Gabi was unaware of this. Trent did not tell her, which I didn't love, but
Mhm.
okay. And it's weird. It's super weird. It makes it worse, the whole thing. Um I I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I It doesn't bode well. It's just none of this is gonna end well, I feel like.
Oh,
How
no.
can it?
None of it.
I mean, she's got the
None of
man in
it.
her basement, like, how can any of this end well?
Can we just talk about the genius of Margaret? I mean, she caught the guy
She
immediately.
said he cut holes in his own outfit. His nails are manicured. Your boy went and got a mani-pedi, and then he's trying to act like he's out here homeless, and he ain't. Um, didn't love that guy's story. Didn't like
Yeah,
that. Glad he's gone. Bye. Ugh, gross. Um, I did I did
and here's
enjoy
the
the story between get out of here.
yep,
The story between
me too.
Samson and Mac I thought was sweet. I liked the goal of the RV. I was okay, I feel like I missed something. What happened with the money?
Let me see if I have notes. I
I'm
don't
so
know if I have
tired.
notes about
Well,
money.
cuz Joe had the cart and then they were like going to go accuse Joe of stealing the money.
Oh, yeah, Janessa, help us out. First of all, I'm under attack. I needed to I'm
Excuse
under
me, ma'am. Um
Ouch, your neck just
Oh, I also the ribbon didn't come back into play.
Oh, yeah,
We didn't get that answer yet either. So keep an eye out for a red ribbon. I'm still not sure what's going on there. Maybe we get to it, maybe we don't, but we haven't gotten to it yet. Um the money came from the wife. Yeah, that I know. I know he got the money from the Social Security. What happened to it though? Like where did it go? Cuz I knew it was in the cart, but then when they found the cart, the money wasn't in it. And then I felt like they just started talking about what happened with Samson's wife and son. I was like, did we even go back to the money? But to be fair, I'm very tired, so I don't know. I could have just missed it. It's like the
same.
whole red ribbon thing again, where I'm like, did that come up at some other point? And I didn't see it, but it didn't. Um, yeah, just not sure what happened there. But
Were they being punked?
he told Joe to
Sir
use the
at a
money
sh
to take care of Mac, and Joe was going to use it to keep the restaurant going. They didn't 100% clarify if it was gone already. Yeah. Yeah, what's up with this? Like, we've been getting these loose ends lately. Stop. I don't
Yeah.
like it. Wrap it up. I wanna know. Um,
So,
we've still got the kid in the hospital in the coma,
mhm.
and the trafficker is out and
Oh,
about.
yeah.
Never solved that. We got the red ribbon. Now we've got Joe maybe spent the money, maybe didn't spend the money. Am
And
I
we've
supposed to
got
hate Joe now? I liked him.
and we've got fake Sir in the strip club where the I'm
Who's
like
reporting that they're seeing Sir all over the
I
place?
was like, Gabby's getting punked because come on. Who Sir in a strip club?
Well, that's why they were laughing about it.
Yeah. Like
Her and
what?
Lacey knew immediately it wasn't him, which is good. Yeah, it's not. He would never be in a strip club.
Like what?
Janessa says, but then they said they were gonna get an RV of their own, so unclear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really not sure. It's like, do you have the money or you don't have the money? I hope they had the money,
Hopefully.
but then it kind of sounded like they were starting from scratch, but maybe they did have it. I don't know. I don't know. All right. We talked about the story. We talked about Gabby and Sir. We talked about Don and his crisp ass hair. We talked about Lacey. We talked about Zeke and Zeke and Lacey.
Mm.
Suck it, Zon fans. And Margaret did get invited by her daughter to go to the sorority, which I thought was a very cute. I am a little concerned about the leaving the bus depot situation. I'm hopeful that somebody will stand in for her
That's the same thing I was thinking.
because
Like,
otherwise I'm worried she's not going to go.
yeah,
But also, this would be a really big step psychologically for her if she could not go for an evening.
I really want her to make this thing with her daughter. And I was just thinking, like, just offer to freaking sit in the bus station so she
I
can
thought it
go.
was curious that she said maybe you can find a way to do both.
Hmm.
And I was like, what do you mean? Like set up a camera?
That's what I was thinking too.
Or maybe she's gonna ask Zeke to keep an eye. Because they do have he did hack into the CCTV footage before when the flyer tag went missing.
Oh, yeah.
Because he saw that guy spit his gum into it. So maybe that's the goal. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens there. So we've got a lot of loose ends, and they're just stacking up on us. So I'm not sure how the rest of this season is going to go. We've got one more episode till the holiday break, I believe. Sorry, I never have this pulled up, even though I really should. It's in my save
I'm dying
searches.
to know who fake Sir is.
I don't know. It might just be nobody. We might never hear about it again. Because it's really not that big of a deal if it is somebody or not, because it wasn't him, so it doesn't matter. Oh, okay. It looks like we're getting an episode on the 28th and on December 5th now.
Nice.
So this next episode is Missing While Scamming.
Mm.
Interesting. I forgot to mention this episode was directed by Chad Lowe. And if that last name sounds familiar to you, it's because this is Rob Lowe's little brother.
Aw.
Well, Chad, you knocked out of the park, my friend.
Oh, hell yeah.
And the script was written by Sanae Hoffman. As so just overall fantastic work this week, guys. Thank you. And I think we're just gonna go ahead and wrap this up because it's midnight. It's basically midnight. So anyway, oh, Janessa said, I will say I was rewatching the first look, and there's a moment in there that makes me think the trafficker will be coming. Oh, the trafficker is coming back.
Definitely
I
coming back.
guarantee it's coming back
Mhm.
because we spent a second episode going to the hospital, checking on the kid. It's like a whole thing.
Mhm.
So I guarantee he's coming back. I just think it's interesting that we're stacking so many loose ends on top of each other. Like the red ribbon is clearly going to lead to something. If it doesn't, I am baffled.
Oh,
But
plus, the girl that was in his house before, Gabby.
Yeah, whatever her name
I
was.
can't. I'm too sleepy to
Kim,
remember.
Ashley, I don't know. I'm pulling out just basic names. Um, so there's the Annie. Thank
Annie.
you. Thank you. Thank you, Janessa. What would we do without you? Okay, so we've got Annie and her story. We've got, well, now we know where Sir was because we didn't know where Sir was for 20 years.
Yeah.
Now we know he's just following Gabby around like a weirdo.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Annie's story. We've got the red ribbon. We've got, we still don't know Don's story and they've left that hanging. We've
Mm-hmm.
got the unfinished business with Margaret's son. We've got the trafficker. We've got the kid in the coma.
Mm-hmm.
Because if that kid dies, that's not going to be good for Gabby.
Right.
Like she could be held liable for that. So there's all that's going on. It's just a lot of things that are kind of stacking on each other. And so I wonder how this is all going to unfold.
And now we have Sir knowing who Lacey is,
Mhm.
threatening to. Oh, he's just so weird.
I know. Genesis is following her around, but never trying to retake her. Was he just going to follow her around forever? I don't know. It's like you had to have had the opportunity again, but maybe he didn't.
Maybe she woke up and this fool was chained up in her basement already.
He just went down there and chained himself up.
Yes.
He said, "I love you and I miss you, and I wanna be chained to you forever." That's a great story. Take that to the police. That won't get you arrested at all. I don't know, you just showed up in my basement and chained down there. It's very weird.
Oh my.
But he's obsessed with me, so I guess it makes sense. I love that her choice was she was going to claim insanity, which that just so you guys know, that's not how the insanity plea works. I watch a lot of court TV. It's not how it works. We lost Takeerah. It's fine. She's coming back.
Happening?
There she
What
is.
is
It
happening?
doesn't matter anyway because we're calling it quits. So say goodbye to everybody. Thank you everyone for being here and watching Finding Found, our live episode breakdowns of NBC's hit TV show Found, which airs Tuesday nights at the ungodly hour of 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our show airs at a much more palatable time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesdays. That's right, Wednesdays. Why are we here on a Tuesday? Talk to Dave from Squawking Dead
Talk to him.
if you
Go
want to
to
know.
Squawking Dead and
Go
send him
ask.
a
Just
message.
his go to his channel. It's linked down below. Go there and just and send him a message. Be like, why was this on Tuesday? I need to know. Inquiring
Do it.
minds want to know.
First of all, our girls need to not be zombies when they're breaking down the episodes.
Yeah. So we will continue at our normal time next week. Yep, next week. And we will be covering the next episode, Missing While Scammed, the 9th episode of the first season of Found. So if you liked this, even if you didn't like this, I don't really care. Please go ahead and like this video, even if you didn't enjoy your time here. And then also make sure you hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and also head over to Takeerah's channel, which is the Ones Who Talk, because they have started to go live and they are making content now. So go over there and follow that as well. But just do it. Just like things. Just go to all the videos. You don't have to watch them. Just
Just
click
like
like.
'em.
Um, anyway, we are eternally thankful to Janessa for being here and being our well, really, you're like our fact checker.
Mhm.
Janessa. You are Finding Found's official fact checker. So thank you so much because you give us the names, you give us the deets when we need them. So thank you for that. Also, we love you for helping to promote us. So thank you so much for being so kind. Thank you, Domain Davis, for liking our tweets
Absolutely.
and also for the show. Thanks for your work on that. We like it. We love it.
We want
Um,
some more of it.
it's true. There will be more though, and the thought of doing this so late some nights is like just exhausting to me. I can't even think about it right now. Anyway, moving on. So we're eternally thankful. Thank you for being here. We love you. If you're watching this in the replay, Jermaine, we love you too, bud. So glad you're watching it now. Same for you, Mitchie. And make sure if you're watching in the replay, go ahead and just leave us some comments. Get that algorithm liking what we're doing here so it'll promote us. We love you guys, and we will see you next week at the proper time. So we're proper, civilized women looking to not be exhausted. Okay. We'll see you then. Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.